Blog Talk Radio.
The truth is out there. Knowledge is power. This is the Prepper Podcast Radio Network.
How's it going? This is Sherman Tank, and I'm coming at you again with another edition of the Eagle's Nest. Tonight we're going to be talking about a few things. One of the biggest things that we're going to be talking about is how apathetic the Patriot movement is, and why we can't get certain things to certain people to events, get certain people to get active. Certain things, and reasons why people don't want to come out to different things. So, with that said, I do want to mention that this weekend that 3% Nation, the group that I run here in California, we had a veterans barbecue out in Antioch. The people that came out there were absolutely terrific. We had a great time. We had scheduled this thing a month or so ahead of time, and we had roughly 40-50 people come out, and it was for a good cause. We basically had set it up to where we charged for a plate of food, and everything that was there. We had raffles and auction and all kinds of different stuff. We had a dessert auction, all kinds of stuff. So it ended up being a great event. We had a live band. They were I'm going to shoot myself for forgetting their name. Anyway, we had a live band that came out and literally played for free. They didn't charge us. They did end up making some money with tips, and actually I gave them a little bit of cash on the side too. So, but we had one heck of a turnout. The people that did show up there, you could tell that they were committed to the cause, and we ended up raising, now get this, with that many people there, we ended up raising about $2,000 to give to charity. So each charity that we chose is going to get $1,000 check from 3% Nation. So I'm sure that can go a long ways. But Travis Mills Foundation is going to get one check, and Sonoma County Vet Connect is going to get the other check. So to everybody that showed up out there, thank you very much. We plan on doing another one. My brother Carlos and all my good brothers and sisters out there, Angela Sherman, Martha Amazonia, Jim Bates, Lanny Kane, Yvonne, Carlos's mom, I can't pronounce the last name, but everybody that came together, Alan, Jim, everybody that came out there and helped us set up, thank you very much. It ended up being a very flawless and easily executable event. So, and everybody else that came out, thank you very much for your support on that. Seen Marco Gutierrez out there, Angela Menini, Bunker was out there. We had just a great time. And there was a lot of people out there that we didn't know. So thank you all for coming out. We appreciate it. And again, it was for a good cause. With that said, this show tonight is about Patriot apathy. And the definition of apathy is basically people that don't really care. Now, if you look up the definition of it, there's several different versions of it, but basically it sums up to someone that's apathetic. They just don't care. They don't have no drive. They don't seem to want to do things. Now you see them, talking online and everything, and they sound like a big game. And then whenever something comes up, or there's an event, or we got to get them motivated, they're apathetic. So there's a couple reasons. For my event, I had 40-50 people. We were hoping there was going to be more. But you know what? It was our first event, so it's something for us to build on. Now, and I'm not in any way bashing anybody that wasn't there, so don't think that that's the case. Now, with that said, the summertime, at least in California and most other states, you would think that summertime would be the time to train and go out and do things and go out to events and stuff like that. Well, in California, it's more like the fall and the springtime is when you seem to get more people out. In the summertime here, it's pretty hot. You're looking 90s to 100s. So it's hard to get outdoors and do a lot of stuff without pretty much dying or going through gallons and gallons of water. So with that said, I understand that the summertime thing is a hard time to get people out. Now, back in other states, it may be the same issue. I'm not sure. The problem is we have a lot of people out there that are in the Patriot movement, and just patriots and conservatives in general. And we have this tendency to where we set when something goes our way, we kind of we enjoy it, and then we kind of sit back and we get lazy. And when that happens, that's when the Democrat Party, or that's when the leftists, and that's whenever the liberals, that's when they take advantage of everything, is because they literally don't ever stop. If you can tell by what's going on with Trump and what has gone on with Trump since he took the White House, literally every single day. I mean, it's been 2 years almost, and every single day they are slamming him with something. They're trying to get him out of the White House. I'll give them this. They are definitely tenacious. They're definitely on their game when it comes to putting pressure on, because even if it's a joke, and they have a lot of help. They got the media, and I mean, they're literally picking crap out of thin air. Now they're on with this Omarosa thing and everything else. But one of the things that I wanted to kind of stress is we cannot sit on our butts. We cannot be doing that kind of stuff, because that's how we're going to end up losing what we already have gained the last 2 years. There's a lot of folks out there, and we put a lot of pressure on people if they're out of shape to get out and get in shape and do this and do that and whatever. Okay, I'm not in the greatest shape. I mean, I'm 6'2", I'm 240 pounds, but I can move pretty well. I played sports my whole life. I played football, baseball. I never played basketball because I just hated the sport. But I played contact sports. I played hand-eye coordination type sports, and I bowled professionally up until about 2 years ago. So I was always active. I'm always moving. That's huge. Now there are people out there that can't do some of the stuff that I can do, and that's fine. There is places for you, but that may be internet-based type stuff. That may end up being intel kind of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. We in the Patriot movement, we need that kind of stuff. We need the information flow, because every chance we get kicked off of Facebook because someone says something stupid, or you say something that's accurate or correct, and obviously the Facebook algorithm or the Facebook people there don't like what we have to say, so they boot you out. With that said, we need to do all kinds of different things. There's all sorts of different stuff we can do. Again, I've been talking this for better part of a year and a half, 2 years. We have to find ways to start funding ourselves. And I know that there's a lot of people on here. I have a lot of good friends that have come up with ideas. I have a lot of great patriots out there that have tried different things, and it always seems to just kind of crash and burn. And veterans groups and veterans events seem to bring out the best in people. It's like the fires up here as well. Any kind of disaster, everybody kind of steps up and takes care of the people in their area. Speaking of which, I want to throw some names out there. Irish Queen or Crystal Johnson, and Irish Native or Lauren Johnson. They have busted their ass up in the Reading area to make sure that people are getting the things that they need. They've been having a fire up there for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's still not completely under control. I think this morning I heard it was like 67%. So they're still leading stuff. Lake County Fires, which is where Lanny Kane is, she is busting her butt and doing as much as she can. She actually cooks for 3 different places that house the elderly. So she's got all kinds of retired folks that she takes care of. And she was actually at the barbecue this weekend, and we had several people that brought stuff up, water, food, water and clothing and all that kind of stuff. And we were able to get all the stuff in her car, and she took it up to Lake County. So again, that's the giving nature of us patriots. We take care of one another whenever the chips are down. Now, that being said, those people out there that do have a following, do stuff like that, you guys have a responsibility. And I've said it from day one since I got started, and started kind of growing my fan base a little bit, is you have to kind of practice what you preach. You got to be able to go out and help and do what you can. And if we're going to be the solid Americans that we know we can be, you have to go out there and you have to put their best foot forward and help people you don't know. And that's exactly what this Patriot Barbecue was this weekend. We were helping people we didn't know, and it's for a good cause. We see in California especially, we see all kinds of different people out on the streets. We see veterans out on the streets. They're not getting help from the VA. There's all kinds of different stuff that we could be doing, and we're not. And I'm not going to sit back any longer. I'm going to step forward. I'm going to do the job that needs to be done, and help them as much as I can possibly help them. We've had some great patriots in the process give us donations to help us get there. One of them was I'm just going to say your first name. Her name's Deborah. She donated really big, which is what helped us put together this barbecue. And she basically, what she donated helped cover at least half the cost. And that's huge. It's tremendous. And without her, we wouldn't have that $2,000 to be able to hand out to the two veterans groups. So Deborah, keep it up. We appreciate it. We love you. And it's something that I wish a lot more of us could do. And I know not everybody's rich. I'm sure that $20 a month or something like that. If you add up how many patriots there are in this country, and there's millions of us. It's not just it's not just one state, obviously, because 3% Nation is nationwide. We have patriots in that group from all over the country. We got them as far east as Florida, as far northeast as New York, and they go all the way to Alaska. They go all the way to California, and everything in between. So we have patriots all over the place, and it never hurts to throw $10, $20 or something toward a cause. I try and do it as much as possible. There's people here in California that have received donations from 3% Nation when they were down on their luck, and if I have it, I'll give it. If I don't have it, well, I'll work on trying to get it so I can give it. So it's something that we have to stop being apathetic. We got to start getting out there, putting our best foot forward, helping the people that need to be helped. And I get it. People want to go to these rallies and they want to go to these events, and they want to stand up and be heard. One of the best ways to be heard and one of the best ways to win people over is to help other people, bar none. You know what? One of the best ways to do that is to go out, volunteer your time to help veterans, volunteer your time to go out and help the elderly. Even go to a hospital, visit somebody that's in there. A lot of times people can go to the VA and visit a wounded warrior. Bring them flowers, bring them something that lets them know that you appreciate what they've done. There's a lot of different things out there. You get camaraderie whenever you start doing events like the barbecue that we did. Dan from CVP and Lou and all the guys down there, they do an excellent job. I've been watching their photos and their pictures and stuff here lately, and man, I tell you what, those guys can really put together a good group of donations, and it's amazing that, and they're doing all this in their community. They're not doing it from other states. They're doing it right in Modesto, the Turlock area, and stuff like that, Manteca. So, those are the people that are going to get noticed. They're going to get their voices heard. They're going to get out. They're going to talk to the public. They're going to basically be in the face of the people and deal with those people and be able to relate to them and show them what we are. Too many times we've seen, we've gone to a rally or something like that, and of course we show up and we're wearing plate carriers, we're wearing all kinds of gear, and to the normal person that doesn't know what the hell we are, that's pretty damn shocking. It's kind of scary, and we have to find a way to reach out to those folks and say, hey, listen, we don't do this because we want to. We do it to protect ourselves. We do it to protect others. We're willing to stand in the way of those police batons, stuff like that Antifa and the other groups carry. It's something that we need to make sure that when we go to events that we relay that. And, I think one of the best ways that we can do that is doing public stuff. We're going to be setting up a thing in October at a car show with the Rip City Riders here in Petaluma. And what that's going to do is that's going to put us out in front of the crowd. We're going to put our flyers and stuff up, and that's going to let us be out in the crowd It's going to let us be out in the public, and it's going to let us try and recruit as well as talk to the public and show them what we're about. You know, a lot of times there's a lot of misconceptions about what the 3%er movement is. And, you know, obviously every time we do this kind of signal, you know, we do the 3, you know, Antifa's got it all turned around saying it's white power and all this other crap. It's not, you know, it represents the 3%. So, you know, there's so many different misconceptions. And the thing is Antifa and the left, they have the media so in their pocket that they can say anything that they want and the media is going to cover it. If we try and say anything at all, it's not. You know, we're apathetic. We get kind of lazy. We sit back on our butt a little bit and we wait and we watch. Well, you know what? Trump is going to be going up for election again here very soon. It's already gone. He's already almost halfway through his term. So we're going to have to really, really push the next 2 years to get his butt in. You know, we have to definitely do the job that we need to do to get him reelected. And, you know, if for some reason he decides he can't run or whatever, we need to get Pence in there. We can't afford another, you know, really another 4 years of any Democrat. You know, especially with you got a 28-year-old woman that's out there. She's literally like a nitwit. The stuff that comes out of her mouth is just completely ludicrous. I'm sure most of you have heard interviews with her, and she refuses to debate anybody, and she is Bernie Sanders on steroids, folks. So, but you know, being apathetic and being kind of wishy-washy, that's not getting anybody any traction. It's not giving anybody any reason to believe what you say online. And you know, we get in these echo chambers. And we say, yeah, no one's going to take our guns. No one's going to do this. No one's going to do that. Well, you know, I hate to say it, but until we start showing what we can do, until we get out there and we really put forth the effort, and we get out in the public and we start helping people, you know, there's a chance that we're never going to be heard. We have to do it. We have to do it through publicity stunts. We got to do it through, you know, public interaction. And I'm not saying we do it, you know, during the rallies. I'm saying we do this stuff, you know, during the week even, if you can, you know. I know I got some great patriots for 3%, United Patriots of California, and they go out and they do as much stuff as they can, hence the Crystal and Lauren. And there's a lot of other patriots across the state that's in that group that does a great job. Mike Zeroldo down in Zone 7. Ken Scott in Zone 6. His group really goes out and busts their butt and does get-togethers and stuff. So Lisa Roning, our state leader, she's busted her butt to try and get the state up and running. You know, I know that there's other leaders in the country that's done really well. Scott Seddon, he's got a great group of people with with AP3. Dean Silva out there with West Coast Patriots. You know, there's Judy Monroe. I mean, I can't forget Judy. Judy's like my producer, and she makes my shirts, and she does everything absolutely humanly possible for the 3% movement. And, you know, she's one of those people that she remains behind the scenes. You know, everybody knows her, I think, but nobody's ever seen her. She's kind of disappeared and hangs back in the background, but she does a hell of a job, and she devotes most of her time to this stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Devote your time to it, you know. Do stuff. My partner that's been here the last few weeks with me, you know, his nickname, he's always ready to do stuff. You know, as you can tell, he's kind of a smaller guy, and he enjoys going out and doing stuff. He was out the Veterans Barbecue with us this weekend. You know, he gets out, he brought his kid, he gets out and he does things. We're going to have to start doing that. And we're going to have to be seen. Wear your shirts, wear all your, you know, your caps and all that good stuff, wear your patches, be out there and get seen. And do it as much as possible. Don't be scared to wear it. You know, be proud of what you are, be proud of who you are. And, you know, we have the righteous side of what we're fighting for. You know, do you want socialism here? I sure as hell don't. You want communism? You know, last I knew, we fought that in the 80s. And as far as I know, communism is supposed to be dead. We need to make sure that we put that fork in it and make sure that it's not going to move anymore. So we got to get out there, and you can do all kinds of different things. You can do activism, you can do preparedness, you can do training, and I'm not talking about just firearms training. That's what everybody seems to show up for, is the firearms training. Okay, do other stuff. Get out there, and of course the people I know that do things. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the other guys, the fence sitters, the guys out there that doesn't really know what they want to do. Get out there and do some medical stuff. Get out there and do some physical things. Try and run up a hill with all your gear on. See if you can do it. And it doesn't have to be a big hill. I guarantee you can probably run up an 1/8 of a mile hill with your gear on, and you're going to be winded as hell. Put yourself in a situation where you have to, get out of there with your life. And adrenaline's one thing, but you need to know if you can do it or not. Because if you can't do it, if you find out that you can't do it, are you going to lay down and die? Are you going to lay down and get captured? Are you going to lay down and have your guns taken? It's one thing to talk a big game, but we need to start showing, putting our foot forward and start showing. And that reminds me of another thing. Part of the Patriot apathy is, again, it's, the definition of apathy is you don't care. So, we have a lot of leaders out there. We have a lot of very, very smart guys. Again, I'll mention them again. Mike Morris, Scott Seddon, Dean Silva, Gabe Silva. We got a whole bunch of different people across the country. David Clayton, he put together a thing last year that was a Second Amendment rally across the nation. We have the smart people. Even Chris Hill. Some people don't like Chris. He doesn't bother me. I just I get a kick out of Chris. He's a good dude to talk to. Some people don't like what he does, But when it all comes to push and shove, we're all in the damn same fight. We're all in there to keep Trump in there. We're in there to keep the Democrats out of there. Bottom line, that's it. You can... I'm sorry, I shouldn't say keep Trump in there. I should say we should keep the presidency red. There's some people, some conservatives that don't like Trump. That's fine. I don't care. But we need to keep the conservative side in the White House. We need to keep them in the Senate and the House. We got to get out there and we got to make goddamn sure that we can do the job. If we can't, what's the point? I hear a lot of people, and I see it online all the time. Oh, we're ready for a civil war. Well, you know what? Are you actually ready for a civil war? Can you survive it? We could have a damn earthquake tomorrow. Are you ready for that? You guys out in the Midwest, you guys are having tornadoes and bad storms. It's summertime. That happens. I grew up out there, so I know. There's all kinds of things that we should be prepared for. And I guarantee you, probably only 30% of the Patriot population is actually really prepared. As you can tell behind me, I've got all kinds of different stuff. I've got my reloading stuff. I've got all my camo back here. Yeah, it's for training and stuff like that. But I've got my bug out bag is back here. My medical bag is back here. Here's my bug out bag. Yes, it's open. I have been in it. Bug out bag. I've got everything that you could possibly have, and probably more than I'll ever need. But I've actually got a map of the state. I'm not going to take it down. I got a huge map of the state, and it shows where the county lines are, and it gives you an idea where everything's at. But we need to start talking together. The Patriot leaders. We can run different factions. I don't care about that. But the Patriot leaders need to be talking left and right. Even the ones that don't get along, at least let them stay informed, because if something happens and say you end up in their area, now are you going to end up being an insurgent? Are you going to end up being the guy that they don't want there? We travel all the time. You may be on vacation when the shit hits the fan. You may end up being in a different state working when shit hits the fan. You want to make sure that those connections are there so that if something does happen and you're not in town, that you can get to a safe place. Or at least get to someone that can help you get your way home. So we have to start making those connections and keep them. And one of the things that I think that we need to start doing is we need to start sharing phone numbers. I've got all kinds of different Patriot leaders' phone numbers. I've got David Clayton. I've got Mike Morris. I've got Dean Silva. I've got obviously my state leader here in California. I've got her number. Got the guys down for the AP3 down south. So we're going to have to start sharing that stuff, and it needs to be on the down low, and, but we need to make sure that we got what we need if that ever happens. I know a lot of people right now are talking about the Space Force and everything else. And Bunker, my friend William Roller, or Bunker, if you don't follow him, please do. He runs the 2 Million Bikers out here, and he's out here in California. And he made an interesting video yesterday about why Trump is creating a Space Force. And it makes sense. And he's kind of in the know because he used to work on some of the military nuclear stuff. I'm not really versed in that, but they did that just in case, because you got Russia and China and Iran. They're all allies with each other, and this would be our way of being able to battle a nuclear attack up in the stratosphere or whatever. That's where an EMP would happen if we were to have one. So Trump is kind of doing the get ahead of the game kind of thing with the Space Force. So if you're young and you're in shape, you might be able to be, enlist in the Space Force. That'd be kind of a cool job. But we need to start getting out there, get motivated. I know it's summertime. I know that there's a lot of fishing and that kind of stuff to do, and you got stuff around the house that you got to do. But you know what? We need to start actually getting out and doing Patriot shit. I'll say it again. We need to do Patriot shit. Even if it's helping with fire victims, or if it's helping with disaster victims, stuff like that. We got, I got hooked up with a good group of people last year when we were doing donations for the fires here in Santa Rosa. And it's a group called North Bay Donate. Her name is Jamie Whitelaw. She was one of the first people that came and picked up donations from us to transport to other folks. This last year, she was able to obtain a 501c, and we're working in conjunction with her now. So we have access to that kind of stuff. Where we buy, if we want to get things to donate, we can go to a store and get water, we can get food, we can get that kind of stuff, and they get their tax write-off. That's what's been holding us back with 3% Nation, being able to go out and do that kind of stuff. But now that we have that, and we have access to that, and we have her permission to use it, we can go out and we can start, getting stuff like that, and it's huge. I mean, we have some great people in Sonoma County. They're willing to donate a lot of stuff. And the thing is doing this kind of stuff, doing the relief kind of thing, it doesn't matter what party you're in. When people need help, they need help. It doesn't matter what affiliation they are. It doesn't even matter what religion they are. If they need help, we're going to step up and we're going to help them. That's what 3%ers do. We help the people that need the help the most, and we help people that can't help themselves. We're in it for constitutional reasons, but at the same time, most of us are giving people. We want our brothers and sisters to succeed and not struggle. So, we got to get out there and stop being apathetic. Get off our butts. And I'm not going to name anybody because it doesn't do any good to do that. And it ends up in a freaking shouting match or a Facebook war and all that crap. But I've watched, over the last couple of years, I've seen a lot of people doing a lot of talking, and they never post pictures. They never, never say what they've done. But they do a lot of keyboard commando stuff. And, we love you all, and some of that stuff is great, but, use it for good. Get out there. If you've got a willing and able bone in your body, get out there and help someone. I know not everybody's rich, and I know that, some people can't afford to do much, but, even if it's $1, you see a vet on the street, give them $1. Give them the change that's in your pocket or in your car. It ain't going to kill you to do that. If you see somebody that needs it in dire straits, do that. Now I'm going to move this on to something else, and this is something I've been noticing, and again, this kind of falls into the apathetic thing. So, we always share all the news that we see on the conservative side of the movement, and lately, a lot of it's been bad news. And what I mean by that is there has been a ton of missing kids on Facebook, and most of them are young girls, and we know why. The pedophiles out there, the human traffickers, things like that, they're kidnapping these kids, and they're sneaking them across the border, and they're doing that kind of stuff. And we got to find a way to stop that. We need a network. In the disaster relief area, there is the Patriot Railroad. There's all kinds of different things. There's the Cajun Navy whenever there's a relief effort that needs to kick in. So we need a Patriot highway, or we need some kind of a thing to where if a certain person goes missing in a certain area, we can get on the phone and say, hey, go check the truck stops. Go do this. Because a lot of those human trafficking things go through truck stops. They go through truck trailers. That's a huge thing. One of the things that I got taught when I was younger is, and this wasn't so much human trafficking. I guess you could say that. But back 20 years ago, if I ever stopped at a truck stop, and the truck was turned off, there wasn't nobody in it, or they were into the truck stop, whatever, eating, I go through and knock on the trailers, and you can tell if it's full, and if there's something in there, it may knock back to you. If they're in trouble, they may knock back. But we need to start doing that. Start checking on stuff like that. Pay attention. Get off your phones. I say that, but get off your phones. Keep your eyes ahead. Keep an eye on your kids, because it's happening. It's going on, and it's going on across the country. I'm going to kind of stop a little bit short there. It's about 6:30. If you guys can't watch me on a live Facebook and you want to listen, you can go to the Patriot, the Prepper Podcast Radio Network, and you can listen from there. You can actually type in a phone number. It's the same thing I do, actually, whenever I call in to do these shows, except for you don't go into the host queue. Basically, you're going to dial your number, you're going to sit there, and you can listen to the show. So just remember that. If you're on your way home, you can't watch your thing, you can listen to it on the radio. I know a lot of people's got Bluetooth and stuff in their cars now, so that helps our ratings out. Facebook is great because you guys can see me. It's kind of like Rush Limbaugh and that kind of stuff. But when you listen to me on the Prepper Podcast, that actually helps my rating. So if you want to go on there every once in a while, that would help me out a ton. And of course, go on and look up the Eagle's Nest on Facebook, Sherman Tank on Facebook. That helps a ton. The thing is the more I get out and the more I get views and stuff like that, the more other celebrities and people take notice. And we need more people like myself to be able to get on video and do videos and inform the folks. And everything that we can do to inform. And I'm not hitting everybody. I got 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I know I'm looking at it right now here on the camera, and I've got 27 people watching. So that kind of tells you the limit that Facebook puts on us. I think the most I've seen so far is like 37. But do me a favor, share this video out there so more people get seen. Prepper Podcast. It's Prepper Podcast, Dean. Podcast is one word. Most of the people that watch me on here have either met me or they know me. And I try and interact with as many people as I can. And, that's one of the reasons I do the live video, is so that I can see people talking back to me. I can see people, chatting with us. We're working on different platforms and stuff like that. So hopefully down the road we can get on some different things. But Kate, yes, I can. Barely, but yeah, I can keep track of 5,000. I check to see if I've lost anybody, and then I kind of get an idea of who I might have lost. The problem with Facebook is if you get banned, if you notice once in a while you get banned, and you may go look up somebody and you're not friends with them anymore. Anytime you get banned, you get dropped off their friends list. So you may have a bunch of friends, but if you get banned for 30 days or you get banned for a day, your name drops off like my friends list. So just remember that. You may be on there one day and you may come back on the next, and I may already have that spot full. So it's nothing personal. It's just I try and keep that full so my friends, my list doesn't keep blowing up as far as friend requests go. So just send me a message. Let me know that you need to be back on the list, and if there's somebody on there that I think is bad. Yeah, I know. I know, Bob. That's the way it works. Facebook is hammer conservatives, and they key on certain words that we say. So we got to be careful what we say. And if you want, I look at it like this. I've never been banned from Facebook. And I hope I don't ever get banned from Facebook, because if I do, I get that's one less day that I get to share my message. We need to get out there and we need to help people. That's my goal in life, is to make sure that as many people that I can help get the help that they need. And Bob, I hated MeWe, buddy. I tried MeWe for like a month and I hated it. Facebook is always going to be, until something takes it over, Facebook is going to be like MySpace was when it started. Twitter's okay. The problem with Twitter for me is it goes by so fast. I mean, literally, I follow enough people where you blink and the whole damn list is gone again. And you got to go back through and look. Facebook, it's not quite that bad, and you're limited on Twitter, so you can only you don't have to say you're kind of stuck. Anything Trump is going to get banned, Bob. We get it, man. Trust me, we get it. So we have to kind of, I hate to say this, but sometimes censor ourselves. I mean, if I was on here cussing left and right, I'd probably get banned every chance I got. I try and, I'm a mechanic, so usually I got a mouth like a trucker. At least at work I do. So being on here and trying to be professional is really tough. Sometimes things slip out. So Dean, then go to listen to it, man. Listen to it on the Patriot podcast. The link that I share every day, the link is there. When I share the link for my show, you can go on and you can listen, and then your router won't die on you. And usually, if somebody's watching my live videos and they're cutting out, when they go back and watch the replay, it doesn't cut out. So I don't know why that is. It may be because I'm in this little small room in the back of the house. But it is what it is. I got do the best I can with what I have. We have some great other people on the Patriot podcast and the Patriot Radio Network. One of the ladies has been helping me a bunch. Valerie. Oh my God, I'm going to murder your last name. Ragucci. I'm sorry, Valerie. She does a show. Oh my Lord. Dee Cooper does several shows on the Patriot podcast. She's an amazing woman. She's my the lady who runs the network, and she hooks us all up, and she does a great job of promoting things. And of course, Judy is on here helping me produce. And there's a whole bunch of other people on here, and a lot of them I'm sure that you guys watch the radio shows and you enjoy it. That's what I'm talking about. The people that get on here and actually do things, do stuff, I guess is the best way to put it. You get out there and do a lot of things. If you can, the more you do, the more you get seen, the more the general public will start to accept what we do. That's one of the reasons I'm going to go to a car show in October, is I want to get out there and I want to get seen. I've been fortunate enough, I'm not going to mention his name, but there is a radio show host that I know, that we have several chats all the time. If he sees anybody that's in need, he contacts me and I see what I can do to help them out. This last week he actually hit me up, and he has a family that's looking for a travel trailer because they lost their home in Santa Rosa last year. So, it's getting out there, putting yourself out there, not being scared of what people think. Most of us don't really care anyway, but we have to stop being apathetic. We got to start going out and doing stuff, and we need to do it in a manner of which makes the group look good. There were some things that happened this last week that was pretty comical, and this kind of falls along a publicity stunt. As most of you know, Trump had his Hollywood sign, or his Hollywood star, chipped up again a few weeks ago. Well, a group of artists decided that they weren't going to tolerate that, and of course West Hollywood voted to have his star removed. Well, it didn't end up happening that way. They voted for it, but they don't have anything to do with it. But anyway, this group of artists went out and printed up a bunch of legit vinyl signs, vinyl stars, and put them all over Hollywood Boulevard. And what was the best part about it was they put them around all the pedophiles and crap on Hollywood Boulevard. And they pulled it off. There was like 50 different stars there. Legit size. They looked real. and there's videos where people pick stuff up. Now I wanted to cut into something a little bit, and this has to do with, staying active, keeping an eye on what's going on, watching your surroundings, because you never know when something bad's going to happen. A couple days ago, a guy jumped in an airplane, never flown a plane in his life, was able to take off from SeaTac, Seattle International Airport, and flew that thing around for, I'm not sure what the length of it was, but it was probably about an hour or so. And the only training the guy had, supposedly, was video games. So there is hope out there for everybody that plays video games. You can fly an airplane. You might not be able to land one because this guy failed at that pretty bad. But there is hope out there that you can learn how to fly an airplane when you were on, just by playing video games. There's some pretty good simulators out there, and obviously this guy's probably played them all. But 29 years old, a guy working at the airport decided he was going to take an airplane, and he did it. Got it up in the air, and he got escorted over the water by two F-16s or F-15s before he crashed on an island off of Seattle. So, and in the process of him flying it, not only did he fly it, but he did things in that airplane that most people would not even dream of doing. He did barrel rolls, he did a loop-to-loop, he did all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. I did want to put a shout out to Dan, for Dan, that I think it's August 25th. Yeah, August 25th, they're doing a car show / rally down in the Modesto area. So look up CVP if you're interested in going. They always put on great events. They always got good people down there. There's usually never any major issues at their events. They do a really good job, and Dan busts his ass for the normal folks. So again, I'll definitely give a shout out to Dan for that. Keep up the good work out there, brother. We got to stay active. We get lethargic. We start sitting back, we start not doing things that we need to do. And yeah, there's some weekends where I don't want to get out of the house. I want to sit on the couch. I want to watch TV. But there's stuff that we need to be doing. This weekend is it was huge for us. I mean, we got people out there. There's people that showed up out there I didn't think was going to be there. Either because they didn't, say ahead of time they were coming. Marco Gutierrez. I mean, he showed up out there, and I was like, "Wow, Marco's here." Mark. Everybody knows who Marco is in California. Super cool guy. Brought his kids. They had a great time. Actually won some prizes in the raffle. So that's what we like to see out there. We had people out there that was doing a little fishing here or there. Ryan, my buddy Ryan, do stuff. His kid was out there catching some bluegill. It was just a great thing, and we've got a pretty good in with them now, so we're going to be trying to do another one here in 6 months or so. So, okay, Dan put on there, it's going to be 2200 McHenry Avenue in Modesto, August 25th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate you putting that out, buddy. I'd like to see as many people as we can get down there. Gun shows is another good place. If you see a gun show in your area, show up, get there, support it. Because in California especially, we're starting to get less and less gun shows because idiots like Gavin Newsom and Xavier Barrera, everybody that hates guns is pushing to get rid of gun shows. So we got to start showing up, get out there and do what we can to support those folks. Anybody that's putting stuff like that on. Get out there in your gear. If you need 3%er gear, let me and Judy know. We can make sure that you get some. Patches, decals, shirts, probably ball caps if we work on it real hard. We can set you something. We can set you up with some stuff. It does cost a little bit because the money that we raise does go to good causes. It lets us put on events like we did this last weekend. So I've 3% Nation's now done 2 different events. We've done a big, huge 3-per meeting down in the Bakersfield area. We covered the cost of that. And then we also did the Patriot barbecue. So the money that you guys send us for our t-shirts, for patches, for stuff like that, goes toward events like those. So, the money is getting spent. It's getting spent where it needs to go. Again, whenever I get the checks to send out to the Travis Mills Foundation, Sonoma County Vet Connect, I will take pictures of the checks so everybody can see them. And hopefully I'll get pictures of the Sonoma County Vet Connect contact whenever I hand it to him, because I want to hand that to him in person. It takes a lot of people and a lot of wearing a lot of different hats to make an event like this last weekend happen. I do want to give a shout out to Yvonne and Lanny, because without them we couldn't have done it. They went out, they cooked a whole bunch of meat. They also, I don't want to forget Jason or Lurch. Some people know him as Lurch. They busted their butt. They cooked. They got the food done on time, and it was ready to go at 5:30, right when we wanted it to. And we did brisket, pulled pork, and barbecue chicken. And we had all kinds of other fixings there too. So everybody that showed up for that, you guys are all huge stars in my book. So, keep that kind of stuff going. And, if we do any other events, by all means, share it. Push other people to come, because those are the kind of events that are going to put us in a good light no matter what. When we can raise money for people that are less fortunate than ourselves, that always helps us out. And we don't even have to be named. I don't care. If they see our faces and they know what we're doing, they'll recognize you and they'll thank you later down the road. I tell you what, let me ask you this, and this is, I'm going to start taking calls here in about 2 minutes. If you do something great and somebody recognizes that and says something or shakes your hand or has a tear in their eye whenever they're thanking you, how does that make you all feel? To me, that's like the best feeling on the planet, because you've helped somebody. I did that last year. I found a family a big RV to live in while their house was getting rebuilt. The lady was beside herself whenever we told her that we selected her. So there's nothing better than seeing the joy on someone's face when you've been able to help them when they couldn't find help elsewhere. It's incredible. All right, so I've rambled on for 47 minutes. So let's go ahead and start taking some phone calls. The call line is 1-845-241-9930, and dial a 1 to get to the queue. And Judy posted it up on Facebook so that you can see it. Again, 845-241-9930, and dial the 1. I'm going to take a quick water break. If you went to the barbecue this weekend, call and let me know how you thought it was. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Here soon, here in the next few shows, I'm going to start bringing people on my lives so that, we can start doing some stuff. I got some people that I've been wanting to bring on for a while. And I finally got a laptop with a camera, so hopefully I can start sharing stuff to YouTube here soon and start building some, some stuff that way. It's funny, as soon as I say, hey, let's get someone to call in, all of a sudden the numbers on the live people who are watching starts dropping. Why is that? Is everybody scared to call in? Okay, I'm sure you would. Alright guys, let's call in. 845-241-9930 and dial a 1 to get to me. Come on, I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't talked to anybody in a week. I didn't do my show last week. That nobody needs to be phone shy. I don't bite. What's going on, Dan? How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you on. Please share this if you can, and please share my link, Sherman Tank, and the Eagle's Nest if you can. We need to get up. We need to get the numbers up a little bit, and like I said earlier in the show, the bigger mine gets, the bigger the audience gets, the more other Facebook celebrities pay attention to it. It might help me get to where I can reach out and talk to them. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. You're going to call me after you order pizza? Okay, well, Pops needs to eat. I get you. Alright, who's going to call in? Who's going to be the first caller? I got about 10 minutes left. Come on now, don't let me sit here all alone. I know that there's people out there that have the same intentions I do. So this is along the lines of helping people. Help me out here now. Come on. All right. 1-845-241-9930. All right, we'll put him on. If Bob's on, put him on.
Help me out here now. Come on.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
this is Bob.
What's going on, Bob?
How's it going, man?
Good.
So I just wanted to touch bases with you guys. I have been making. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got your phone on speaker?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
If your phone is on speaker, you
So I
need
just
to...
want to let you know, as I'm watching your show, I have had a bunch of Trump and pro-Second Amendment gear made in California, employing California workers. I've blasted it on Facebook, and I have been blocked from just about every marketplace.
Oh, that's because you're sharing Facebook stuff, or you're sharing Trump stuff on Facebook.
Well, and I've also been threatened by 3 different individuals and had to file a police report for direct threats towards me and my family for selling baseball hats and T-shirts.
That's about par for course. I hate to say it, man, but that's one reason I don't one reason I don't do that. It's not that I don't like the guy and I don't support our president.
With it, and, right. I've had nothing but good things said to me from the the conservative groups out there. Happy to see that I have the products I have available, stickers, hats, and T-shirts, and people are supporting me in every way. And I would like to save some of my proceeds to contribute to your cause.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, that's when you start getting some stuff in, let me know and we can get you the PayPal and you can send the stuff in there.
I've got all kinds of stuff in now. And I did my first flea market in Auburn, California at the 49er Flea Market. It's the 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month, and they are very happy to have me up there, and I had a great response, and it just happened to be the same weekend they had the gun show, so I killed it.
That's good. That's always, when you get the gun crowd in there, they're mostly going to support Trump and the conservative side, so that's good. I'm glad you didn't get accosted there. If you'd have done that in Oakland, you probably would have got run out of there before your table was set up.
Well, I probably wouldn't go down there unless I had about 15 or 20 of my biker buddies that are about 6'7", 280 pounds.
That's probably a good call. Yeah, Oakland or anything up here in the Bay Area is notoriously anti-Trump. Everybody knows that. Personally, I'd like to see us go out.
No liberal.
No, I don't think any of us do, because it's the only thing that they do better than we do is the crap that we see them doing every day. They got the news media, they whine and the only reason you're seeing them is because they got the news media in their pocket.
Yeah.
That's what they got over us.
I just want to let you know I've been getting great responses. I've got lots of people that are placing orders online, locally. I'm meeting in safe places with these people to make transactions, and I'm giving 10% discounts to first responders, all veterans, and students.
Okay. I appreciate it, Bob.
Get a hold of me later and we can talk about the details as far as my contribution to your cause and your show.
All right. I appreciate it.
And I'm still anxious to get with you and help you do whatever I can on your show when it's convenient for you.
Okay. We'll see if we can work you in. I know I got a couple different guests that I want to get on here in the next 2 weeks. So some people I promised a spot. So, but Bob, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to see if I can get one more caller in. Thanks for the call.
Thank you very much, and you're doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
All right, we got anybody else? We got 5 minutes. I got enough time for one more call. So if you're jonesing to give me a call, Valerie, why don't you give me a call? Come on, Valerie. You know you want to call in. You done a great job today, by the way. Come on, I know someone wants to call. How about somebody that went to the barbecue this weekend? Yeah, Judy's lonely, so somebody call. I do want to mention a couple other people that do the Patriot Watch radio network, and that is, I don't care if you watch me or you watch anybody else. The thing is, give these people your audience if you can. Joe Burlack does a couple shows. Usually he's on competing with me on Monday night, so we do a lot of different stuff. So he's great with the Constitution. He could probably be a constitutional lawyer if he wanted to be. He knows history like crazy. So go on and watch him whenever he comes on too. All right, we got 5 minutes. Who's going to call in? I guess if you want to, James. It's kind of boring though, because then I can't talk to you too. Judy could call in. She's my producer. She could call in, or she could click in. Yeah, she is nicer. Come on, I know that someone else wants to call. We still got 20 people watching, so I know you guys are interested. But we need to come up with different ideas. We need to start making sure that we get these celebrities involved. You got Ted Nugent. You got there's all kinds of them. Ted Nugent, Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe's actually local to us. He's only like 45 minutes away, unless he's traveling. I'd like to see him get involved a little bit. And he doesn't have to get into the 3% movement, but Dean, don't give her any ideas. She already does that, buddy. James Woods would be a great one to get involved. Come to some of the events. The problem is, again, we talk a lot of big game, and it's conservatives in general, not just 3%ers. We have a lot of people in the conservative side that talk a big game but don't back it back up with action. We have to start backing it back up with action. If we start doing that, that's how we're going to start swaying things back into our direction. We got to continue to keep the momentum going, not sit back and let it fall off. All right, Terrence Williams would be good too if you guys like him. And I'm going to put a call to action out. How about that? I'm going to put a call to action out. Everybody that's on here watching right now, there's 24 people, at least 24 people watching. More people will see this. Hit up your local celebrity. Hit up the guys that you know are conservatives. Tell them to get in contact with me. Maybe we can work out an event and do some stuff together. I would love to talk to these people. Gary Sinise would be great. He's someone that does a lot of work with veterans. Diamond and Silk could be great too. The problem, a lot of these people don't want nothing to do with the little guy. That's the thing that sucks. We got to start making sure that we get their attention. Whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on Facebook, whatever it is. I've sent more messages out than I can think of. I've sent messages to Ted Nugent. I've sent messages to Upchurch the Redneck. Even guys that
90 seconds.
Looks like I've got 90 seconds left. So, this is my call to action. Get out there, hit your local celebrities up. Push them, push them, push them. Make a push to get them vocal and get them on our side and get them to help us. That's the one thing that I want to see done. If there's anything that we can do that's going to catch attention, gain attention, that's the kind of stuff that it'll be. That and huge, huge, huge publicity stunts. If we can get big publicity stunts, whether it's
60 seconds.
activists, artists, things like that did down on the Hollywood Boulevard, that's the kind of stuff we need to start doing, because that takes the attention off Trump and puts it back on the conservative movement as a whole. So we got to start doing that. Upchurch is great. The problem is getting him to actually, reach out and say, hey, you know what? What can we do? What can we do here or there? There's other guys out there too. We got to get these people motivated and start getting them to show up to some of the events, because they're going to bring followers. I guarantee you they're going to bring their people. So with that said, this is Sherman Tank. I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. Everybody that signed on and watched the show tonight, thank you very much. I'll be on again next week at 6 o'clock. Pacific time. And, you know, share this out there.
10 seconds.
I do have a YouTube channel. It is Sherman Tank on there as well. So I just started getting a laptop. I'm gonna start recording it to there. So look me up on YouTube as well. This is Sherman Tank, and I'm out.